Drummaster, David W Seymour, Davey Demon, Saturday Live are the usual tags to get to the page. We got to see the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Trail Riders ride in on the Saltgrass Trail. That was exciting. And then we got to log in to Drum Channel and watch Thomas Lane University. And I'll tell you what, that lesson he did was incredible. We played along to a lot of it, but the very ending, I challenge anyone to go try to play that ending song that he put out. The fill of the day, I know y'all can pull off. I mean, for a couple of cups of coffee, you can go to that channel and learn from the best in the world, right there on the Drum Channel. That's probably the best place to go on a Saturday if you're a drummer looking to improve your playing, if you're not taking private lessons online or in a school or a store or at someone's home or online. You need to be right there on that channel doing that. And for the same price as a subscription to a magazine or anything else, that's what you get. It's well worth it. So I think that other one was a lot of us had adopted open hand grip and got away from cross-handed sticking for years, and a lot of us have gotten back into readopting cross sticking within our open hand sticking. And some of us that are multi-pedal players, where we play at least 4 to 5 pedals on the left side, doing the ostinato and a lot of those grooves like that, do the permutations against each other's rhythms, crossing over sometimes was making us play slower, so we just started saying, because we're either MBEX or left-handed, we play open-handed. So with that example, a lot of us have been doing this. Open-handed like that, what allowed us to do is get better with the left-handed lead while we play right-handed ambex on the other side of the kit. So what it allowed us to do, what we've learned over the years as players, to get more advanced with our playing, let the left hand start doing some of this talking for you. Instead of always on 2 and 4, making a real solid rock, those shuffles that we started doing, they got a little busier within the groove, which were derived from basic paradiddle exercises that became shuffles. that basic snare. To the snare rhythm of the shuffle. So once we break that same shuffle, that's the idea when you have the ability to do ostinato drumming and polyrhythms and taking those sticking patterns, and even if you just have a basic practice pad or a three-piece kit, you start developing your sticking and your footing, breaking up those shuffles, start making it sound more melodic and musical on the drums. That's where the drums start talking more and become lead instruments. More new age sounding, more jazzy and more progressive. That's how we get like that. And it doesn't make it more commercial or more listener, it makes it more musical for the drummer and for his musical accompaniment of the arrangement within itself. So within that arrangement, a lot of times the articulation is what the accents are of the melody. So if the melody's da 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 da, like a horn part or a keyboard part. So it's like. So you notice how those note changes are the accents of the rhythm or whatever the sticking pattern is. So if we're jamming along with that melody, what we do within that melody is create our own rhythmic lead of the permutation of that rhythm. So, lower and a high, high and a low, low and a high and a low. So the and E, all the other notes, the triplets between the shuffle, become the undermining notes of the higher arrangement. So the lower tension of the groove or the melody is what the accent dictates. So whether I want to take it around the rototoms, the snares, or the cymbals, we think about which instruments are adding in on that. Would it be a bass when I hit that wide open crash? Or would it be maybe a keyboard riff when I'm doing that lead with the left hand, making it sound kind of cool and busy, playing against the other rhythm. So let's try that. thing we talked about is playing simple straight beats. That's the harder thing. Those busy new age grooves that we do where we take the rhythm, which is and we turn that into a beat. Then we took that beat and we divided it into a melody with that rhythm. So we said, now we're going to make that rhythm, the accents of that rhythm on the melodic pitch changes within that groove. And of course, that's a little more, that's getting into the more masterful ways of drumming, but some of the hardest things to do in the world are this. Some artists put a single out, Why Am I Single? And it was a song that a person put together, did all the parts like how a lot of us do, a lot of us drummers and arrangers do, and keyboard players and singers do. And it said, Why Am I Single? And it's funny because it just starts out to be like that. That's the whole song. That's the whole song. Kick, snare, hi-hat. And it really brings perspective what drummers and metronomes can do for a song, but real drumming is a straight beat like that. Rock beat 1. Those are some of the hardest things you could ever do as a drummer, and play with that beat over and over. And it seems so boring. And it is. But if the song's right, if the count's right, if the mood's right, that's all that's required for drumming. And if you want to get into drumming, you'd be surprised how many songs you can get away with playing at different tempos with that same beat over and over. So you will never get bored with that. Your listeners might get bored with it. And you might get bored with it, but once you get used to it and really making it your own rhythm, you can start adding a double or a single or stroke to it. So, spiff it up and put 8s on the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and slow it down. This will even make that beat more incredible. You go watch someone like Lars Ulrich play that beat with a band like Metallica or just something really simple like that. It has a really profound effect on a listener when it's played at the right tempo, with the right notes and the right instrumentation. Certain little simple beats like that some of us had to go back and really think about. That's really something serious. It might not. Why so serious? That is the serious beat, because it's just. So let's think about how would metalhead or a rocker do it. They just. Maybe a little slower. Those simple little beats right there, however you play them over and over. Soft, loud. Domino did a demo with a guy for season 2 of Drumia. 1 month drum lessons. And I'll tell you what, that guy went in there and that was the deal, just to get him playing a straight beat, you know what I mean? And before it was over with, he was doing it, and it made us all realize it's really, sometimes just getting back to the basics. Signed up for Drumeo and joined the drum channel, do so. Do that. If you're already out and about trying to get your drum kits or your keyboard rigs or your guitar rigs for the season, and one of them you're not really that keen on operating or playing or know how to use, sign up for a lesson or two online with any of those folks. It could be Drumeo. It could be Piano Note. Hell, it could be a School of Rock. It could be, you could even go through a Bach to Rock. You could go through a private school. You could go through a college. You could go through an individual. You could find a family member or another band member that knows exactly what you're getting into and the easy way to learn it and which apps to download and which school apps to buy and go to once or twice a week. Or several of them, if you've got the time and the money. Some people do. There's nothing wrong with it. There's never too much to learn when it comes to music. And there's so many different styles of it. Whether you want to do rock or classical or country, hell, it's rodeo season. Go fill in with a country band or a country singing band or a stringed quartet that does country and western or folk, or rock and roll. Just because it's country season or it's rodeo season doesn't mean you can't go out there and play some rock and roll and some techno or some heavy metal or some punk rock. That's a cool thing about rodeo season, whether it's Houston, anywhere. We've got the biggest one in the world right here. Not only do we have the best food and the best livestock and shows, but we have some of the best entertainers in the world, and of course the greatest cooks ever in the world, right here in Houston, Texas. So this is Saturday Live. We came in here and we did a little practicing. Angie's taking a nap. I'm gonna probably load up those other songs. I had that one bossa nova jam that I loaded up that we were going to try to play, but the camera cut off when I started a while ago, so we're not going to even start with that. I had written a bunch of new material, but you know, sometimes you just have to go with it. So those are some of the new jams that are in there. I got a whole bunch of new play-along jams, drumless backtracks of all styles, and original music in all tempos, so now we can speed them up and slow them down and jam.